Basic color science tells us that darker surfaces absorb light more than lighter surfaces. In the same way that lighter surfaces tend to bounce light while darker surfaces tend to absorb it, darker skin complexions reflect light very differently than lighter skin tones. Now, it's a common belief that normal skin exposure is 70 IRE, but if your subject has Hispanic or Middle Eastern skin tones like me, you'll want to expose them around 60 IRE, and for subjects of Afro descent, you'll want to aim for 45 to 55 IRE. So with all of that science out of the way, here are some tips on how to light darker skin tones for subjects who are Hispanic, Afro descent, Middle Eastern, South Asian, or Asian. Number 1, have a strong diffused key. It might be instinctual to just flood your subject with more light. Now this is on the right track, but if you do just that, you'll run the risk of having a really hard specular spot right on your subject's forehead, or throwing too much light into the entire scene. To counter this, diffuse your light a little more than you normally would, like with magic cloth or a full grid if you're going for the pretty look, or use something thinner like a shower curtain or a half soft frost if you still want to have a harder, more dramatic look. Number 2, get closer and dial down. If you don't have a ton of diffusion options, another thing you can do is bring your key light closer to your subject and dial it down. This will soften your overall light and make it more evenly spread out over your subject, bringing out more of their features without overexposing them or making too harsh of a light. Number 3, brighten your accents. Subjects with darker skin tones may need additional background or accent lighting so that they can stand out more. Try adding more gain to your accent lighting in your setup so that it can contrast your subject more and add more depth to your overall scene. Number 4, make sure to have an eye light to help darker eyes pop out on screen more. This can be achieved by holding a small light directly across from each actor so its reflection is seen in their eyes but doesn't spill everywhere else. Number 5, light mixing. Brown and black skin tones absorb light differently than lighter skin tones. Use this to your advantage and get creative. Try a cooler light or a lavender gel as a kicker to enhance your subject's skin tones and bring out more of their features. And number 6, if you have a scene with multiple actors where one actor has a significantly darker complexion than the other actors on screen, try Hollywooding a super diffused little light and follow them around with it, or sage that actor closer to the key light. And lastly, remember that all these suggestions are subtle. We're not saying you have to make big dramatic changes to your lighting just because you have a subject with darker skin tones. Don't take a giant 18K HMI, then soften it with half a dozen layers of cloth. All I'm saying is, small changes like adding a bit of diffusion or a lavender kicker will really help with bringing out some of the features of your darker skin subjects. But let's open this up to you. What's your favorite tip for lighting skin tones? Leave a comment below, and the best answer will win an Aputure M9, which makes for a great eye light or accent light. I'm Nerris from the A-Team, happy lighting.